back in the Bossman show, friend of the show, UT Martin, Skyhawks head coach Anthony Stewart with me out of OVC. Coach Stewart, good to see you, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to see you, man. Always, I look forward to talking to you every year, and it's good to be seen with everything going on. It's good to be seen.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, for you guys, man, I know you had the tournament the week before everything kind of shut down. I know it was my birthday, March 11th, where everything kind of went straight to you know what. I'm at the Hawks game and get text messages the season we suspended. So for your guys, it's probably on spring break. So how was that first that March 11th week and going from being on campus to being virtual? And how was that for you and your staff and your players, Coach?
It was different. It was really different. It was something that obviously, none of us have experienced before. So it was uncharted territory. You don't really know what to do. It's something, doctors and scientists, obviously haven't come up with a cure or an antidote. So, it was scary in a sense, too, because you don't really know what you're dealing with.
Most definitely.
And so all you can do is just try to self-educate yourself and learn as much as you can about that virus, so you can do anything and everything that I could do. Because here's the thing: is that boss man, is that I have people's children under my care, and so when you have other people's children under your care, and you have a epidemic going on, that's a serious thing. You're dealing not only with your own players, their parents and loved ones. You don't really know what to tell them, and just trying to gather as much information as you can, and also, making sure they're good.
Yes,
their parents and loved ones are good where they are, because some of these kids don't have the resources or the know-how or the ways to take care of things like we do here. So it was about 3 or 4-fold with what was going on. So, but we've made it through it, and we're moving on.
Modell, and I know for you having an academic advisor, your assistant coaches, kind of keeping the young men motivated in the classroom, because when they at your home, your own devices, you might have missed class and you won't go get punished by running the laps for missing class when you're at home. So how is it kind of get your young men to go that learning virtually and keeping their grades up? I know you can see via the Blackboard app what they're doing, but how was that for you and your staff and your assistants to get those young men through that semester?
It was business as usual. One thing about I don't play that. We don't play, academic failure here. We're on top of it. Nothing really changed except the vehicle by which we did work. We did obviously more virtual stuff, online things, but the checks and balances were there. We got it. We touched base with them virtually multiple times a day. These are things we do whether or not there's an epidemic or not, because they are here. They're going to receive a degree, a meaningful degree, and they're here to learn. Okay. And so basketball is just something that they do. It's not who they are. And so that's important to me. And we've talked about this. So nothing changed as far as our approach to academics, but the vehicle by which we delivered the finished academic product, that's the only thing that changed.
Most definitely. I know young men, having you as a coach, you hold them accountable on and off the court. So I knew they would be right in line with you, Coach. I know you take care of that on every end of you treat them as what they are, student athletes, not just an athlete. So you really believe in that. I know that about you. So I know you will be okay in that regard for sure.
Yeah, no question. And like I tell my players, and it's real simple here. I don't have a whole lot of rules, but anything that you cannot do at a corporate job or in a corporate environment or in a corporate structure, you can't do here in my program. So you will be prepared to have a real job when you leave here.
Most definitely. And Coach, strength conditioning wise, I know it was hard for them young men being back home. They couldn't work out or they couldn't go to gym. So how'd you all approach keeping the young men semi in shape, doing things on Zoom and group text and sending them workouts? How was that for you guys over the spring and summer here?
The only thing I mostly tried to do was just stimulate their minds to, a lot of times we're too worried about the physical aspect of this, and sometimes they just need it, hey, we just need to, hey, how you guys doing? How's your day? How are your people? How are your friends? Okay. And so if they were following, which the majority of our guys were, instructions and protocol, they needed to be in the house. They needed to quarantine. A lot of them had curfews. So a lot of these people's environment changed as to where they kind of got cabin fever. And so
Most definitely.
go here, they couldn't go there. So you had to make sure you stimulated their minds with some things. The physical going to be okay. We're going to get to that. They've been playing basketball their life. Make sure that they're mentally stable. They're doing well. The only basketball stuff we did or gave them was some defensive philosophies. Watch the little film, and then I'll get with y'all when y'all get back. I just want you to be healthy. I want your family to be healthy, and I want everybody to be safe. That's it.
Most definitely. And speaking of mentally, what's going on in our country, it's been happening over this pandemic with social injustices. How did you all approach that topic? I know a lot of coaches tell me about it. You use the Zooms to educate the young men about getting registered to vote, to teach them about the situation going on in the country. So how did you all use that platform as well to kind of get those young men involved in civics and understanding what goes on between us, blacks, whites, and Latinos, and non-black, whites, and Latinos in this country here?
Well, my players had a head start. And I'm not knocking anybody's program, but we're registering to vote regardless if there's a presidential election. That's the first thing our guys do when they get here. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon to vote for president. But in the meantime, there are senators and congressmen and people at the state level and the city level. They're the ones who make the laws.
Most definitely.
And so, don't get it twisted in that thinking you just need to get involved because you don't like something that's happening now with the president. You don't like something that's happening now with the government. This is a continual thing.
Yes, indeed.
And so, like I said, my guys have a head start in the fact that, they're not here playing for a black coach. They're playing for a black man. And
yes,
so
indeed.
there's an inherent difference between the two.
You got that right, Coach. And I feel like that's something we've been missing. For me, my parents were in civics. I was taught about voting at a young age, right? So I always know that state, local is what matters the most. Federal is important, but what affects you every day is what's happening locally in state. And, just like here in Georgia, with you probably heard about the mask mandate issue with our mayor and the governor of Georgia, right? That's had somebody else won, that wouldn't be a problem, because we're outnumbered, still here out of control in Atlanta. So, like you said, as an example, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, of how state and local matters more than that federal does, and how that affects your day-to-day life every day.
It really does, and I've got a 12-year corporate career in that. I used to chuckle in that when, the big boss man or the owner of the company, the president or vice president come into town. Now everybody's straightening up their desk and they're changing their clothes and they're working harder. And they're like, hey, Anthony, why you ain't moving no fast? I do this regardless if it's the vice president or
Yes, indeed.
And this is just kind of now everybody want to vote and boom, boom, and register. We're doing this regardless. This is what we do.
Most definitely. And I think I'm glad that you did that for your young men, because, they need to understand that a lot of young people, I'm 33 years old. A lot of people my age bracket and below are out of the loop on civics. So I'm hoping this is a jump start, what you're doing for your young men, and others will be involved going forward, because we're the next generation of this country is my age and below, so we have to be engaged and involved. And people like you and my parents who set me up for it are very key and crucial to our progress moving forward, for real, Coach.
And so, the last thing I'll say on that is my challenge isn't, necessarily for people I do believe we need to have as many people registered to vote as we can. But the real challenge for me is, will these same programs, these same coaches, and these, all around the country, will they be making the same push next fall? when there's not a presidential election? Is it not as important to vote then as it is now? It is. Let's just see if we got the same push.
And I'll challenge them on this show to do it, Coach. I'll challenge them on it because I will do that. Because since I'll just tell you one more thing before we move to the next topic. But for me personally, since I've decided to use my show for more of a platform, I've lost 4 sponsors, Coach. And I'm like, it's mighty interesting that I've decided to use my platform for a different reason. I lose sponsors, but it's all good because God's gonna bless me no matter what. But it's awfully funny that hey, 4 people drop because I decided to talk about other issues other than the Hawks or the Falcons, the Braves, college basketball, or whatever. It's mighty interesting.
Right. I get it. I know.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, for you're in year 5 at UT Martin, man. Has it flown by as the head man? Has it flown by for you, Coach? I know you was an assistant on the Heat Destroyer there, man. So how has it been, man? Has it flown by that you're going in year 5 as the head man at the UT Martin?
It has. And I think, time flies when you're enjoying what you do. And I enjoy working with young people. I enjoy representing this fine university. And it just seems like yesterday, like you just said, I was up here as an associate head coach with my best friend, Heath Schroyer. So there's something to be said about, there's some truth to it in that, you find something you love to do, you don't work a day in your life. So I don't find this to be work. I find this to be fulfilling and gratifying to see young adults of all ethnicities and creeds and cultures reach their goals on and off the court, and that's why I do it in particular.
You have a unique, also, and Martin is a unique town because it's the school's pretty much the town is the school, and so when you're at UT Martin, you got 2 focuses: academics and basketball, or if you play basketball. So your university, your young men have a great opportunity to focus on their games. We talked about it in the past, and play for you, who demands you play hard. Because I watch games on the digital network. Your team always plays hard. You might not win every night, but you play hard and you play committed to the scheme you're playing. And I love that when I watch your team because I love how they timeouts. You have their attention. You have those young men really engaged. I want to commend you, Coach, on that and how the job you do with your young men, watching you from afar, of course.
I appreciate it. That's the goal. Getting getting 100% or more than 100% buy-in from the mental and the physical. And just putting in a hard day's work, like when they go to a job, they're going to ask for a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. And so that's what we do here in our program. We try to be representative of the culture here. And that's what the culture here is. It's agriculture, it's farming, it's more blue collar than white collar here. And that's hard work, pride, work ethic. People that have been brought up in great work structures. And so we try to mimic and mirror the things and the people and the processes that were around. So I'm glad to hear that you see that in our play, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, Coach, you also had 2 promotions on your staff. You hired Coach Walker as a full-time assistant coach on your staff, and Montez Robinson, a former coach at Alcorn State. Talk about what those 2 will bring to your staff here going forward.
They're workers. Montez, Coach Walker's been around me. He used to play for me, so there's a very good trust factor here. He knows what I expect. He knows how I work, what I want to get done because he's lived it and been through it. He's a great young coach and a great young basketball mind. Montez is a former SWAC Coach of the Year, had a very successful program in Alcorn, and unfortunately, things didn't go his way in the administration. They parted ways, but he came off his last year. He had a winning record. And so, he's really come in here, taking the Bulls by the horns, in particular on the defensive side of the ball, where I was not satisfied. We were poor last year. That's on me. And I've made a concerted effort to improve our defense and get it to where it needs to be so we can contend for a championship.
Yes, indeed, because as you know, Coach, the OVC there's no easy outs in OVC, no matter who you play.
No, sir.
No easy outs.
No, sir.
And I know from coaches to talk to in the league, they always tell me that you do a great job, and they hate to play you because of the defense you play. Of course, they always say you do a good job, and his defenses he changes it up on you. It's rough to play Martin. So your peers definitely speak highly of you to come on the show, coach, and I see it too. That your zones are great and how you mix them up and play them and those guys off for sure.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. Now, coach, talk to us about some who are your your key returners to your team, and also your newcomers as well. So I listen here in Atlanta can know who to look for on your roster this year, coach.
You know what I've done due to this epidemic and this environment, I've kind of changed my format of my roster. I'm carrying 20 guys this year. So I've got 13 scholarship players, and I've also got 7 out-of-state walk-ons, and my walk-ons had multiple Division I offers. They chose to come invest in themselves and pay their own way for this year because you never know what's going to happen. Hopefully, knock on wood, the virus doesn't get to us too bad or at all, I hope. And if you have some guys that need to quarantine or, you might have, and he's around another guy and he was around this guy in practice. Now you got to get rid of 8 guys. Well, for me, I still have 12. And so I have to be able to, I don't want to forfeit any games, lose any games. So I kind of went to my background in playing some minor league baseball and made my own farm team. I got 20 guys that can all at any point in time go in and contribute. My returners, obviously, my son, he took his name out of the draft fairly late. He was garnering a lot of serious interest. He wanted to come back for one more year. I'll have him. He graduates next month with his MBA, but he still has 2 years to play. We have him coming back. He's the first team preseason all-league guy. Hannes Pola's really been in shape. My transfer that got here last year to play got a waiver around Christmas time from Oklahoma. He's really been playing well in preseason here. Some of my newcomers, Cam Holden, he's a monster. Got him from Florida Gulf Coast Community College. He was a 20-10 guy. Got a kid out of College of Central Florida named Jerron Williams, big 6'6" wing, about 215, 220, really skilled. I've got a kid coming. He paid his own way. Was averaged 8 and 6 out in the Big West at Riverside. He paid his own way last year, invested in himself. I got so many guys, but just off the top of my head, those are Vinny Viana from Albany Tech. He's from Georgia. He was an All-American. Got a kid by the name of, Dante, losing my mind. Hold on one second. Let me get my board where I got everybody's name.
I'll take your time, coach.
Here we go. I said Jonte Coleman. He led the country. He made 115 threes in junior college. Got a real special group of freshmen. Anthony Thomas from Baltimore. He's a 6'8" wing. He's special. Just to name a few. I'm really proud of my guys, man. Really, really proud of this group in that, they're just down here, and think of it like this. You got everything going on. And so this what really makes me feel good. And you take out, so I only have maybe 3 or 4 returners, so 16 guys committed to me, having never met me in my life, like face-to-face, man-to-man, broke bread with them, shake their hand. Like, do you know what it takes for a young man to do that, and these young kids to have the trust in a coach to do that, to come to Northwest Tennessee where they're not from? They like that. This is a special group, man, and I'm really excited, and we're working hard, and I'm pushing because I really want them to be successful, because I'm so thankful that they believed in me in this time during the epidemic.
And how was it recruiting via Zoom? I want to ask you about that. I know that's different from you. I know you a guy who wants to build bond with guys like you said. How was recruiting via Zoom, showing the guys the campus via Zoom? So how was that process going forward? That's something you'll use going forward here as well.
I think, it was different, but I think the key element is these kids are coming to play for me and coming to play for my program in word of mouth, belief system, trusting what other people think of my program. They had to do their own due diligence and talk to players. I challenge them. You can talk to players that are leaving my program who I'm not bringing back, or who are staying. Like there's no what I say, no faking the funk. I'm not hiding anything. I'm an open book. I'm forward with everything. I'm not, there's no games and no tricking anybody. So the vehicle was different, but you're selling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm selling my assistants, and I'm selling the fact that guys, like you said, this is a particular place where hard work and having a great work ethic is championed here in this community, at this university, and guys get better. And you have to be focused, because there's only two things you can really do here. There are no clubs. We don't have a pro team. You can go to school, get a fantastic degree, and you can play ball.
Yes, indeed. And you know what, Coach? I know young men in Atlanta would love to play for you, man, because I tell them about you. And I try to help out guys. I try to tell them, hey, check out Martin. I know it's a little skill part Tennessee, but it's worth it. Give them a look. I tell them all the time. Give you a look.
I got three new guys here from the Atlanta area.
So, yeah, I've told guys to check you out because, giving him a chance, he'll have your back. He's going to coach you hard. He's going to ride you hard. He's going to be there for you when you need him. So I've told guys that about you because I've talked to you multiple times. I've seen you guys play. So I believe in you and your program wholeheartedly. And I'll definitely sell it to anybody who asks me about you.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. That means a lot.
No doubt. And that's what I got for you, Coach, this. I know you got to play those guaranteed games and the non-conference games. So how is that going to go for you guys this year, starting 2 weeks later and trying to, deal with quarantine in different states and different things like that? How's that going, trying to schedule these games before you get into overseas play here coming up here real soon?
Well, as of right now, I've been fortunate enough. I only have to go on the road and leave campus one time to go play a guaranteed game. That was a conscious effort that I made. I'm not getting on a plane. We're not going to get on a plane and be in hotels. And I'm trying to avoid staying overnight, just trying to be as safe as I can be, yet I think I've put together a real good schedule that will prepare us for that OVC.
A good thing about your location in Martin, you can kind of go to Nashville, Cookeville, down to Jacksonville may be a little tricky, but most of the schools you play are within a good busing distance and getting back in one day and one night. Thank God for that.
Yeah, this is a good bus league, especially when it comes to conference. So you don't have to get on a plane, and thank goodness that we only have, as of right now, things could change. Out of conference, we only have one bus trip that we got to go down to Ole Miss and play.
More definitely. Kermit Davis, my guy, Kermit Davis. So, yeah, that'll be a good matchup for sure. That'll be a good matchup for you and him. I know he got some zones as well, so I know that'll be a good battle for sure. Well,
no doubt.
Coach Stewart, man, good to always catch up with you, Coach. It's always good to talk to you. We're doing this time of year, man. I'll be watching you guys closely as always, cheering for you and hoping you guys do well with you and your roster and your staff, man. Tell Montes I said what's up. I'm glad he's landed with you.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. And you do an unbelievable job. It's a pleasure to be on your show and, talk with you. And thanks for all you do and the good word you're putting in for my program. I appreciate that.
Anytime, Coach. You be safe, man. Hope to talk to you down the road, buddy.
Okay, you too. Take care.
All right. It's Anthony Stewart on the Bossman Show.
Sally Beauty's new all-in-one hair color kits make it easy to color your hair at home. Get everything you need to color for beautifully radiant results. Loved by professionals, open to everyone. Sally Beauty.
All right, folks, back in the Bossman Show here with Coach T.J. Johnson here of the Texas State Bobcats out of Sun Belt Conference. You'll see him come to town to play Georgia State here whenever we get the schedule coming out here real soon. Coach Johnson, talk to me. How you doing, brother? Interim coach Texas State, man. You doing big things now, my brother.
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited. It's a sunny day in San Marcos. The team went to vote today. Our vote is our voice. So I'm encouraging anybody listening to this to please take this election seriously and be accounted for, man. Stake your place in history and be on the right side of history. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be on here with you. Excited to have this platform. It's a great, what better time to be a leader in this country than in 2020. So I'm good, boss. I'm good.
No doubt. And I know you had to feel good, Coach Johnson, when the university tabbed you to take over Coach Casper, who resigned. So knowing that the university had confidence in you to take over his program, how did that make you feel personally as a man and professional as well?
Yeah, I mean, we all have a desire to do whatever it is we do when you've been raised as a competitor, to do it at the highest level. So having an opportunity to be in this position and do this at the highest level of our profession, it's 353, and I'm one of those, that's an elite group. So, I'm certainly humbled and appreciative that the university looked at me as a person of great character that could actually lead this group during these so uncertain times. So what I try to tell my guys is, hey, man, you're here because of your talent, but that won't keep you here. Your decisions keep you here. So certainly, I may have gotten this job initially, 5 years ago as an assistant for a number of different reasons. Some might say, hey, man, having Nigel Pearson on your AAU team wasn't a bad reference on your resume. But at the same time, carried myself the right way, being a person of great integrity and character, and just being willing to learn, not coming in with arrogance, not feeling like I knew it all. I definitely think that it put me in the right position here. So as a coach, as the competitor in me, just wanting to be in this position, and you want to just see what you got, see if you as good as some things that you think you are. So, and if not, see how quickly you can get better.
Most definitely. What I love about you is how people can see about you. You're loyal, because lots of coaches hop around. You were there 5 straight years. Things broke a certain way for you. So it showed that you really dedicated to your craft, and the university saw you getting better as an assistant coach, getting stuff done, giving much responsibility to Coach Casper. So showing your worth as an assistant coach, showing your dedication to Texas State University. So I feel like, that helped too. And I'm glad that you got rewarded for your loyalty and your dedication to your craft, because you deserved it, man. I know what you was about before you got there, in the AAU game. Guys you worked with and developed with. So the fact that you went there and wanted to pursue that route, man, so it's about your heart and character to begin with.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. I do take pride in that, man. Growing up in the streets of New Orleans, we got unwritten rules about things. And let me just tell you, at the very top of that list is loyalty. So you don't want to say things that you can't repeat. And then you don't want it to be a place in that city that you can't go and show your face. So, and I take that with me today, everywhere I go around here. So I certainly, like I said, humbled and appreciative, very thankful about the opportunity. And I'm just being obedient, man. Try to allow God to order my steps.
No doubt, man. Just coach. So just talk about the March. March 11th was my birthday when everything got shut down. Then the Hawks next game, and they get a text message. It's about to be the season, right? So for you guys, I know your tournament is typically that week of my birthday. The Sun Belt tournament is. So what was that like to go from participating in a tournament to it's all over, then having to have kids go home on spring break, not come back, all virtual? Take us through that whole process of March in the spring for you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, man, it's almost like you're not receiving any kind of gifts on your birthday. We felt like we had a very, very good chance of competing for a championship. We did that my second year here, came up short to Troy, and we felt like this was by far the most connected team. We felt like this was the only team that we've had here over the last 5 years of my tenure that had not peaked. So after coming off an unbelievable night versus Appalachian State here at home, we're packing our bags, getting ready to go to New Orleans the next morning. And, unfortunately, at 8:30 in the morning, we get a call and saying, hey, the AD wants to meet with the team the AD wants to meet with the coaches in Coach Casper's office. And that's when they informed us that it was going to be canceled. So for our guys, knowing the work that they put in, for the coaching staff, knowing the preparation, it was pretty devastating, to be honest with you. It was surreal. And then you feel bad for kids like Nigel Pearson and Eric Terry, but Nigel walked away from here and he said one thing in particular. He said, I have no regrets. And I believe our coaching staff and our players, although we did feel like, hey, we were robbed of that opportunity, but we had no regrets. We know that we did what we needed to do. Starting off, we were 1-4 in conference play. And we ended up coming back and being tied for second in this conference, where every night is a war. So, I'm proud of these guys, but I'm most of all proud of the way they handled it. These guys picked up the pieces. They, I tell them, I say, you can, there's not many chances you'll get to, excuse me. I tell them all the time, I say, what you can control is your reactions. You can't control the act. So you'll be able to control your reactions. And I thought our kids did a really good job of controlling the reactions to that. And now they're just excited and anxious about getting back to work.
Academically, Coach, I know guys have been on campus. So how is that go from being an online campus in-person student to being virtual? I know you can check them out on Blackboard, when they're at home, but keeping them accountable where they miss a class, you can't go make them run a hill or something, or run some sprints for you for missing a class. So how is that to keep the young men focused academically while they're back at home and in their own environments, not with their structure around and they have at campus with you guys?
Boss, that's the most challenging thing. Years ago, they said, "Oh man, pretty soon the new wave of academics, you're going to be educated online." Nobody have just like they told us when we was growing up, cars will be flying by now. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff.
Most definitely.
Man, these kids are so uninterested in taking classes online now. They used to get excited about it back, maybe a couple of years ago. Now it's exhausting, and we feel like it's very difficult to hold them accountable. So what we've done is this. If we sense that these are challenging classes and that they're having a hard time keeping focused, they come up to the office. Texas State, it's a blessing to be a coach here. We have a $64 million renovation that was completed 2 years ago. So we have a wonderful facility. Plenty enough room for these guys to come in here. So during your 10 o'clock class, you're going to take your 10 o'clock class up here, although it is online, just to make sure that you're giving the right amount of attention that's needed to that particular class. So you have to kind of get creative, get you an opportunity to touch them, have some human interactions with them and things of that nature, in-person interaction. So we think that it's definitely difficult, but hey, my dad used to say if it was easy, anybody could do it. And he used to always tell me when I was a teacher, you're the smartest guy in the room, figure it out. So it's our responsibility as their coaches to kind of help them be successful and put them in a place to where they can have some structure.
And structure about this also, Coach, physically. How did you all approach them being away from home, trying to keep them in some kind of shape, knowing that they're different environments, whether the rules are different here? So how does strength coaching, you guys kind of huddle together, kind of say what we're going to do to make these guys keep them in semi-shape, be able to run, do some exercise in the yard? How was that for you guys as well?
Accountability partners. Hey, man, call your boy, challenge him. How many of you do today? All right, I'm about to call him. He only did this many. You say, nah, he didn't do that many. So I got those guys to challenge each other. Hey, FaceTime when you're doing this. Let us see. So we were creative in that, trying to provide some innovative ways. Certainly our strength conditioning coach has helped us. But for the main part, hey, pairing these guys up, getting them to look at each other from across the way and say, man, hold on, you put up how many shots today on your outside goal? Yeah, you got an outside goal too. Get out there and shoot, So, and just let them know that any level of activity was good. If you can't get in the gym, hey, man, get outside and do ball handling drills in your driveway. hey, if you don't have cones, I say you can use a whole lot of different things. You got chairs in your house, you got things in your garage. So just challenge our guys, and then told them stories about us growing up, things we didn't have, in ways we made it work. So
Definitely.
it was really, it was really good to kind of see them kind of growing into themselves.
And coach, using Zoom as well with what's going on in our country, we had murders and different things uprising with the pandemic. So how'd y'all use that platform of Zoom to teach the young men about, what's going on in the country? You told me off the air, you got you guys going out and voted today. So how'd you all kind of educate the young men civically and what's going on in our country? Because they are the next generation. I'm 33 years old. So I know how it's been a millennial. They that Gen Z right behind me. So getting them ready for what's coming as they get to my age and older.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One of the things that really, I had been in the point of contact position for 3.5 months. Certainly, I only been in the head coach here for 3 weeks, but throughout this whole investigation, I was the acting quote unquote head coach at point of contact. So it gave me some flexibility to kind of do some different things. So we had 2 weekly Zooms. And on those weekly Zooms, there will be videos to kind of spark conversations. We tried to provide safe and supportive environments for these guys to talk about certain things. One thing in particular that we did an anonymous survey. We had guys talk about, the importance of voting, whether or not they would vote, social injustice. What do you know about certain laws and certain things of that nature? And we asked the guys, hey, listen, this could be completely anonymous. All but three players put their name on it. So when they told me that when they put their name on it, showed me that they wanted to be identified, I said, well, we can rip the Band-Aid off. Now we can talk about these issues. We can have guest speakers on Zoom. These guys can have a voice. So what's important to you? So just by us having a voice, showing these kids that how to use their voice, and just taking accountability for the impact that we can have on our own society. So it's been really, really good watching these kids, like I said, step up and be accounted for.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing in Texas right now. Early voting started yesterday. The lines are long. People saying that they got to wait 4 and 5, 6 hours, but at least they're getting the job done. Don't let the obstacles stop you. Don't be deterred by the suppression issues. I hear in Georgia, 11 hours to vote. Are you kidding me? That's a whole day of work for some people, right? But it's that important to get this change. This is generational right here for our kids and their kids. To get this right now, right? You see what's going on with the Supreme Court right now. So I mean, it's so much is happening that they can see for Coach Johnson how important what you're saying to him is just by watching the news, what's going on around him as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. My mama used to say, man, if you see a good fight, get in it. It's a reason, and just to be liberated and be free and to be a part of history. And you at some point, boss, somebody gonna ask us, about this election,
mm-hmm.
and you don't want the answer to be, I didn't vote, I didn't participate in it, and that's what I told my kids, hey, this is an opportunity for you, and the hardest thing in the world to do is to live with regrets. So we voted today. I don't know where my sticker went, but we did not use our day. But you can kind of see this is all bent up. So we went through our guys. We gave them this. We went through all of this with them about how to go about voting and so they've had this all week to go through it, the candidates and things of that nature, to be informed. The university did not allow us to instruct them, because they didn't want anyone to impart biases upon it. But we voted today, and it felt really, really good to do so. The reason why we didn't practice is because we wanted to vote today as a team. And then on the election day, we have a mandatory off day, boss. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and work, not the polls per se, but we're going to work the streets and get people, let people know where the voting poll is, and just direct them and continue to encourage them and celebrate them as they go in and come out of voting.
I love that, Coach. You know, what I'm doing here in Atlanta is I am going and giving out snacks and drinks to people waiting in line. You know, while I'm out interviewing people, I'm out here giving snacks to people because I know what happens here in Georgia is that suppression's real here. You know, it's real here in Georgia. So I know you're going to be there for a while. So I go out and give them snacks and drinks because I part of some of my sponsors to do that because they were so happy to do it. Now, Coach, I'll be honest with you. Since I've been talking about life and the issues of the world, I've lost 5 sponsors, Coach, 4 to 5 sponsors, depending on the week. But guess what? I still got some with me who's still willing to do the right thing. So the 5 I lost, hey, it's all good. You know, it's good. I need you anyway. I'm still going strong, right? But the idea that speaking about issues that pertain to me and my people, from Chattanooga to Macon, is a problem. Long time about the Hawks, the Braves, college basketball, it's okay. But when I talk about issues pertaining to me and my people, it's a problem. So just to say on the radio side, you know, it's funny, but we're not going to be deterred to help my community. And that's what you're doing for your players, helping them be close to their community as well. Well, it's so commendable for you, Coach. I love it.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to you, man. You come from that LeBron school. Look, don't tell me shut up and dribble. You know what I'm saying? So now, man, much respect to you, man, because sometimes, man, the court of public opinion, it's just that. That's all it is. It's just public opinion. And I encourage these guys, man, take the road less traveled. It just seems harder. It just seems harder. That's it. Perception.
But it's more rewarding later, though. We take the road less traveled. Because I feel rewarded. I feel like, you know, no matter what happens on November 3rd, I had an impact on it. I may influence somebody to do something differently. So that's all that matters. My dad always tell me, as long as you get 1, you get 2, you get 3, you get 4. Let's make sure you reach at least 1. So as long as you know you're doing that, you're making an impact. So that's what I feel like I'm doing, Coach.
Yeah, start there, man. Shout out to you, man. That's big time.
Now, Coach, talk to you about this, man, you know, for you guys getting in shape, and then with you guys. So how's that been reactivating them to what's going on here and getting them going ready for November 25th here, coming up here real soon in a month here. So how has that been going so far, man?
That's been pretty difficult, to be honest with you. You know, when guys have extended breaks, you know, we've made this sport more year round. You know, when I was growing up, you know, when it was baseball time, we played baseball. When it was football time, we played football. When it was basketball time, we played basketball. So we played everything when it was in season. Now, you know, guys train and play basketball year round. So that extended break, you know, put a lot of our guys in jeopardy of, they say, soft tissue, soft muscle injuries. And then just also really trying to look at this year as you've done in the past. You know, saying, well, we were able to do this, this, and this at this point in time last year, but this is a different year. So just being flexible, being able to restructure some things have helped. I can tell you right now, man, one thing that we've cut back on is really like running conditioning. We took out the mile. We took out our lateral run. We took out, I'm not going to say punishment run because we can't do that anymore, but we took out accountability running. So now we're focusing on, hey, these guys are probably getting as good a shape if you let them get up and down a little bit. So yeah, we get up and down a little bit more. And also, you know, hey, maybe they can make a few more shots if they have a stronger core. So now we do core exercises for accountability. So just finding, you know, just finding creative ways to get it done. Hey, man, there's no right or wrong way of doing it, but there are consequences. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to minimize the consequence.
Most definitely. And I can ask this, Coach, talk to us about this. Who are some guys on your roster that my guys need to look out for you here in Atlanta? Because I know you all play Georgia State, Georgia Southern here. So who are some guys on the roster you need to look out for, key returners and key newcomers that we should look out for on your roster this year, man?
Yeah, man, we're blessed to have 8 returning players. You know, so we have a good core, good nucleus of guys. Kind of understand what we're doing and what our mission is and what our goals are. I would say definitely we got to start with our 2 guards. I think Mason Harrell and Marlon Davis or some of the better guards in the conference. I know this conference is loaded with talented guards, but Marlon Davis led the conference in assist to turnover ratio, and Mason Harrell was at least second or third. So we like our guard duo, and I think people can expect that those guys are going to play a little bit more together. Because they've been feeding off each other pretty well. And at times throughout the course of the year last year, we had our best lineup when those two were on the floor. We're going to throw the ball inside. So I think that, paint touches are important, whether or not it's driven or pass. And hopefully we can get our guards to get downhill a little bit more. But if we throw it inside, we're throwing it inside to Alonzo Sule, redshirt junior. He came off the bench with great energy for us in the past. And, he's been in the lab working. He's been healthy. He's confident. He feels like with Eric Terry graduating, that this is his time. So I would say certainly those three guys, coupled with, the things that Isaiah Small can do, being a 6'7", 4-man with probably extended wingspan. He's a slim, wiry guy, but he can be slippery at times. So we're looking for those guys to be key contributors. So, if we're going to come to Atlanta and do something that's rarely done, we need those guys to play well for us.
Mo Delvin, now, Coach, tell us about this. When y'all come to Atlanta, how's that trip for you guys coming to the ATL, play Georgia State at the Georgia State Sports Arena, which is a weird concept up, being on the third floor there. It's weird. Not every school has it, the way they have it, Sports Arena in Georgia State. So how was it to come play the Panthers, and how is it for you having some roots here in Atlanta, some friends and family here as well when you come to town, man?
Well, for me, it's I'm going to speak on a personal, it's always exciting. Because I know I'm going to get a chance to see my dad. My dad lives in Atlanta, got a brother who lives there. So they're going to come to the game, got high school friends that live there, and just family from New Orleans that also live there, and they always come out and support. So I'm always excited. From a competitor standpoint, from a coach and a player standpoint, man, I don't know if there's a game in which we know what we're going to get or what we're getting ourselves into more than that one. I would say Lafayette is probably a close second, but when you walk in that gym right there, you better be ready to go or you're going to get embarrassed. And that's just, and they're going to let you know about it. The level of swag that those guys play with, the level of toughness, and just a high level of skill. Although we are probably the furthest, we're the furthest west of them, man, we keep an eye on what's going on in Georgia. The championship for this conference goes through the state of Georgia. That's the bottom line. If you're going to win a championship in this conference, you got to beat the Georgia teams.
Most definitely. And you got Brian Berg now at Southern, who from being Texas Tech, having to recruit against him for some guys. He going to bring a new swagger down to where Coach Bonson went to James Madison now. And, Rob Lanier, he's going to do what he's going to do. Now, I got to ask you, now he's gone now. How was it always to play Ron Hunter's zones, man? People always tell me, man, his zones is one of a kind. So tell us about how it was to play Ron Hunter's zones now when y'all come over here to play, when they come over to play you guys as well.
It's something that you get better at the second time around. No doubt. It's hard to prepare for it. It's hard to rep it in practice and feel like you got it under control. If you look at it, the times in which we have played well and beat Georgia State, it's the second time we played them. Now we have a better feel, and now we have adjustments that we think are going to put us in a position to be successful. Ron Hunter is a mastermind behind that zone. I mean, he ran it before he even got to Georgia State, and now he's running it at Tulane. He believes in it, and gets his guys to believe in it. So, but you know what? That wasn't just the toughest thing about playing Ron's team. They were always very, very talented. And what people don't know, they didn't play as fast as they appeared to play. They were very structured. He called things. They ran things.
Most definitely.
He knew where he wanted the ball at. Whether or not, hey, man, Ron did something that I said, man, this dude got 3 quality bigs, and he has Malik Benlevy running the 5. We can't hedge on this. We can't hedge this ball screen because he got a dude that's going to go 7 for 11 from the 3-point line if you continue to do that, and he was just really, really good at creating mismatches that worked for him. He would post the Marcus Simons. Hey, yeah, he's my point guard, but I'm going to post him, Hey, I'm going to make this thing even harder for you. I'm going to play the Marcus Simons at the 2 and then bring in Kane Williams, not behind him, but with him. Now figure out that. How are you going to play that? So he's a great coach. He does a great job of preparing this team. And listen, I'm glad he's gone, to be honest with you. But listen, look, let me tell you. I got the utmost respect for Coach Lanier. That dude there is a dude. So I'm not happy about that hire for obvious reasons. But listen, man, Coach Lanier, I was on the phone with Coach Lanier today for 30 minutes, man. He's like a big bro. So I really I'm happy for him.
That's my guy too.
Yeah, and I know he's going to do exceedingly and abundant things there. So,
well, when you all play, I'll be so neutral. I'll be like, I'm indifferent.
Man, look, one thing I know about your boss, that is lip service right there.
I'm indifferent. I'm serious.
That's just because of the. Hey, that's just your mouth talking. I know where your heart at, man.
Hey, I went to Tennessee State, so I'm not Georgia State. I'm Tennessee State, so I'm definitely indifferent.
I got you.
Lowe's ain't Penny Collins playing. Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Penny, man. He got that thing going, man. Penny got to be one of the first dudes that reached out to me when I got this, and certainly, man, just encouraged me to operate in my truth, to trust myself. And he gave great advice, man. Penny like the old uncle, man, like an old school uncle in the backyard, man. Like you like, Uncle Penny gonna be there? If Uncle Penny gonna be there, man, I'm coming because I know it's gonna be a good time. So, man, shout out to Penny, man, Tennessee State, wishing him the best as practice got started.
Yeah, I'm a model at Tennessee State University. Yeah, man. So, Coach, tell you, as long as they playing TSC at TSU, man, I'm indifferent. If you're playing somebody I don't know or don't like, I got you all day. I'm a ride with the Bobcats, man.
Man, look, man, somebody asked me today, man. I mean, no, I'm lying. 2 weeks ago when I first got the job, I said, man, we got to finish this schedule. I said, man, Southern wants to play. I say, Southern.
Sean Woods.
I say, look, man. I say, man, Sean Woods is my guy. I said, first of all, we're not messing with him right now. And that's my alma mater. So I said, I'm not in a place emotionally to play them right now. I said, man, you gotta let me get my feet, get my knees into this thing. We're not playing Southern right now. I fool around in at halftime. I be singing my alma mater. I said, look, I'm not ready for this, man. Don't do this to me, man.
You got that right.
Man, I'm not ready for this, man, So, but no, man, shout out to Tennessee State and all the HBCUs. Graduated from Southern, got my master's from PV, so it run deep in my blood, man. So
no doubt. Well, that's what I got for you, Coach. This, man. Talk to you about your Saints, man. Is Drew Brees coming back next year? Because look, his arm is done, Coach. The arm like his noodle arm, and I'm just being real with you.
Man, look, let me say something, man. Let me say something about Drew. Hey, that break didn't help him either. Okay, let's just say that. When you that old, you got to keep this thing going. That's why my man Tom Brady got himself in trouble going to Tampa Bay, practicing. He ain't had no business doing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Them old guys need that work. But hey, man, when you missing an elite level wide receiver like Michael Thomas, who's got a chance to be a Hall of Famer, putting them Hall of Fame like numbers this early on in his career, come from great pedigree with his uncle Keyshawn, what I'm saying? One of the best route runners. He fights to get open, and just being that size. So certainly we're missing that, and we're a little bit easier to key in on. But my man Kamara, what I'm saying? That Norcross boy, that Georgia boy out there. Hey, what I'm saying?
He's
so
sweet, man.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna be all right. Mike, we'll get Kent guard Mike back, and Drew. Hey, I'm happy that Drew's able to, stand up after a play. Hey, like we keeping him off the ground. So I think we're gonna be all right. Now, I do think that that we gotta tighten down some things. We're not as cohesive of a unit as we've been in the past. So if we can kind of clear up some locker room issues, you know, and I think we can be all right. We just got a few little locker room issues we got to clear up.
Traquan Smith is developing too, though. I mean, look like you pay Emmanuel Sanders too much money because Traquan Smith is developing that number 2 receiver that y'all need, man. Because Emmanuel Sanders, I mean, he got name value, he ain't getting the job done like he could for you.
Had a good Monday night, though. Had a good Monday night. Emmanuel is understanding that when with Drew, you know, you got to fight to get open because he's going to try to fit that ball in some tight spots. So, but yeah, Traquan a young buck, man. You know what I'm saying? He just trying to make a name for himself. I like it, though. So when Mike comes back, he'll make it easier for those guys, you know, because you can't key in on them. And, you know, we're going to try to put those guys in some situations where they can be successful if we can get Drew to stand upright. But one thing I hope we can do, man, we got to open up some lanes for Kamara to get to the second level. If he can get to the second level and get guys missing, you know, I think he's getting hit too much at the line of scrimmage or before. So we can do that, we'll be all right.
And let's Taysom Hill, please. I mean, to stop that. No, he takes away from Drew's rhythm. I mean, I'm like, okay, now Taysom Hill, 30 down, bring Hill 30 down. Like, come on, yeah. I know Sean Payton's a mad scientist, but come on, man. Let's Taysom Hill, more Drew Brees. Enjoy his last year before you go to Jameis Winston, the pick 6 master. That's all I got to say about that.
Certainly, like overthinking it with Taysom. You know, I mean, everybody knows if he's in a game, he's getting the ball. So, I mean, it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, he's going to drop back, but he's going to run it. So we got to figure out a way how to be a little bit more creative with him and just use him in situations where it's not so obvious.
Oh, definitely. Coach Johnson, man, good to speak with you about your program, my brother. Talk some Saints with you. That's always my favorite team to come to town, the Saints and the Cowboys. Between you and them, I like y'all fans better. It's more better talk junk with y'all. The Cowboy fans just arrogant for no reason. They ain't won nothing in over 25 years, so they need to be quiet. Y'all won some against the great Peyton Manning. So hey, I can respect that. But the Cowboy fans, man, y'all chopping every year. It's our year. It's been there for 25 years. Shut up.
You know, it's a Cowboys year every year. That's how they operate, man. But certainly, man, it's always good visiting with you guys, man. Love just love the platform that you have and how you're using it. And I love the passion that you do this with, man. Like, I just think that you like this is not a chore for you, man. This is all your pleasure. And I just think that we as people, we got to do more things. We got to go in the fields in which it don't feel like work, where it's never been a job. It's been your pleasure. So just seeing you operating your truth, man, I just wish you all the best, man, moving forward, man.
Same here, Coach. Hey, even though you're from New Orleans, man, I got your back, man. I got you.
I appreciate it, man. Look, if you in that city, I'm going to take care of you, man. Shoot me a text. I got you. List the places to go. List the foods to eat. You know, whatever is your palate. Let me know, man. I'm good down there. Trust me.
I'm going to text you off the air. Get with you on nigga. I got to know when we go play the Pelicans what I need to go eat. What I need to go do while I'm down there.
I got you, man. I'm telling you, I got you. Trust and believe.
No doubt. Well, T.J. Johnson, the Bossman Show, Texas State Bobcats out of Sun Belt Conference. Check him out, people.
We'll be right back.